Psalm 91 stands as a powerful testament of faith, a proclamation of trust, and a litany of divine assurance. It breathes the essence of hope and comfort, offering a haven for those facing life's trials and tribulations. In this exploration, we will delve deeply into the verses, unearthing the layers of meaning and the emotions that resonate from its powerful imagery and declarations. The context of Psalm 91. Before diving into the text itself, it's crucial to establish the context within which Psalm 91 was written. The Psalms, a collection of ancient hymns and prayers, embody the varied emotional landscape of human experience: joy, despair, gratitude, and lament. Psalm 91 is particularly focused on themes of safety and refuge, serving as a balm for anxious hearts. Written in a time when threats were both physical and spiritual, this psalm reflects the climate of fear that often permeates human existence. Ancient Israel faced numerous dangers, including invasions, disease, and the uncertainties of life. In that backdrop, the assurances offered in Psalm 91 resonate profoundly, speaking to a community seeking solace amidst chaos. Verses 1 to 2, the foundation of trust. He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, in whom I trust. These opening lines set the stage for the entire psalm. The phrase secret place of the Most High evokes an image of intimate communion with God. This secret place can be understood as a spiritual retreat, a sanctuary where one is shielded from the storms of life. The notion of dwelling indicates a long-term commitment, a constant state of being in relation to God. The double mention of God and the Almighty emphasizes the dual nature of the divine as both personal and sovereign. The text calls believers to experience God as a refuge, a safe haven, a shelter in the storm. The term fortress suggests not just protection but also strength. It evokes images of a mighty castle, standing firm against siege. At the heart of this declaration lies trust. In whom I trust becomes a mantra, a personal affirmation that resonates deeply. Trust is fundamentally about vulnerability, acceptance, and assurance, an acknowledgement that we are not alone in our struggles, and that there exists a divine presence willing to engage with our fears and challenges. Verses 3 to 4, divine protection. Surely, He shall deliver you from the snare of the fowler and from the perilous pestilence. He shall cover you with his feathers, and under his wings you shall take refuge. His truth shall be your shield and buckler. These verses continue to expand the imagery of divine protection. The snare of the fowler refers to cunning traps set by enemies, symbolizing the hidden dangers that can ensnare believers if they are not careful. The perilous pestilence can take on various interpretations, from physical diseases to spiritual attacks. The metaphor of being covered with his feathers introduces an overwhelmingly nurturing image. It resonates with the sentiment of comfort and care, akin to a hen sheltering her chicks under her wings, a powerful image of motherly protection. This evokes feelings of warmth, safety, and love, reminding believers that God is not only a strategic protector, but also a tender caregiver. His truth shall be your shield and buckler accentuates the strength provided by embracing divine truth. Truth acts as a protective barrier, safeguarding against deceit and the lies that life can throw at us. This emphasis on truth indicates the importance of grounding ourselves in spiritual reality, allowing it to shape our identity and sense of security. Verses 5 to 6, overcoming fear. You shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor the destruction that lays waste at noonday. Fear is one of the most potent emotions human beings experience. It can paralyze and distort reality. Yet, these verses provide an extraordinary assurance that in God's presence, fear can be dispelled. The terror by night evokes the deep, primal fears that can trouble us when darkness envelopes our surroundings. Night is often associated with vulnerability, and here, the psalmist assures us that we need not fear. The contrasting images of arrows flying by day and pestilence walking in darkness capture the unpredictability of danger in life. Whether it comes as visible, direct threats, the arrows, or hidden, insidious threats, the pestilence, the promise remains: ultimate safety is found in God. The emotional weight of these words cannot be overstated. They challenge us to confront our fears and insecurities, inviting us to step out of darkness and fear towards faith and assurance. The text implies that acknowledging our fears is important, but surrendering them to God's protection is transformative. Verses 7 to 8, miraculous preservation. 1,000 may fall at your side and 10,000 at your right hand, but it shall not come near you. Only with your eyes shall you look and see the reward of the wicked. This portion emphasizes the miraculous nature of God's protection. The staggering numbers, thousands and 10,000s, illustrate overwhelming odds against believers. Life often presents crises that can feel insurmountable, and yet here lies the promise that in the midst of calamity, God's chosen ones shall remain unscathed. The phrase, "only with your eyes will you look," indicates that the believer shall witness the downfall of oppressors and enemies without becoming a victim of their fate. There's an incredible reassurance and empowerment embedded in this promise. As humans, we may find ourselves shaken by the events around us, but God's presence ensures that we can observe without being touched. Verses 9 to 10, making God our dwelling. Because you have made the Lord, who is my refuge, even the Most High, your dwelling place, no evil shall befall you, nor shall any plague come near your dwelling. Here, the text draws upon the importance of choice. Making the Lord your dwelling place signifies a deliberate decision to engage with God earnestly. This echoes the message of faith. It's not enough to acknowledge God. There must be an active relationship nurtured through trust, prayer, and devotion. The promise of no evil befalling those who dwell in God's presence highlights the connection between faith and experience. It suggests that intimacy with God acts as a bulwark against negativity and harm. The emphasis on your dwelling also offers a personal touch. Each believer possesses authority and agency over their spiritual environment through their relationship with God. Verses 11 to 12, angelic guardianship. For he shall give his angels charge over you, to keep you in all your ways. In their hands they shall bear you up, lest you dash your foot against a stone. The imagery of angels provides further assurance of divine care. Angels act as God's messengers and protectors, which adds a dynamic dimension to God's protective nature. It illustrates that God actively engages in the believer's life, employing heavenly beings to safeguard them against life's pitfalls. The phrase, "to keep you in all your ways," reminds us that divine oversight extends not just in dire circumstances, but throughout all aspects of existence. This suggests that even in the mundane, ordinary moments of life, God's vigilance is present. The metaphor of angels bearing us up so we do not dash a foot against a stone illustrates both God's gentleness and commitment to our well-being. It's an intimate image, as it draws on the idea of being cradled, further enhancing the overall tone of nurture and protection. Verses 13 to 14, vengeance and protection. You shall tread upon the lion and the cobra, the young lion and the serpent you shall trample underfoot. Because he has set his love upon me, therefore I will deliver him. I will set him on high, because he has known my name. This section shifts the tone slightly, emphasizing not only protection, but also triumphant victory. The imagery of treading upon fierce beasts and serpents serves as a symbol of overcoming formidable challenges and adversaries. Lions and serpents have long been associated with danger and evil, representing the trials one must face. The verse also points to a relational dynamic. God's deliverance is linked to the believer's love for him. Love in this context transforms the nature of the believer's faith, from mere duty to a heartfelt connection. God acknowledges this genuine love and responds with the promise of elevation and protection. Being set on high conveys the elevation of status, implying that those who cherish their relationship with God are not only protected but honored. There is an emotional depth to this promise, as it assures believers that their faith does not go unnoticed. It attracts God's favor and intervention in their struggles. Verses 15 to 16, the final assurance. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. The concluding verses cap off the psalm with a profound declaration of God's providence. The assurance that God will answer our cries speaks to the relational aspect of faith. Prayer is portrayed here as an active line of communication, one where God promises to respond. The phrase, "I will be with him in trouble," provides an emotional sustenance. In moments of despair, loneliness, or suffering, the promise of God's presence signifies that believers are not abandoned in their darkest hours. It highlights the theme of companionship, evoking feelings of comfort and solace that transcend earthly circumstances. The notion of being satisfied with long life encapsulates both a physical and spiritual promise. It reassures believers that a life lived in connection with God is filled with purpose, fulfillment, and ultimately, salvation. The emphasis on God revealing his salvation offers hope for eternal life, a core component of the Christian faith. The emotional landscape. Throughout Psalm 91, there is a rich emotional tapestry woven together. The feelings of fear, vulnerability, and uncertainty are countered by deep-seated feelings of trust, love, assurance, and victory. This duality reflects the reality of human experience. Life is often fraught with danger and difficulties, yet in the heart of those trials, divine presence and protection are offered as guarantees. As we navigate the complexities and vicissitudes of life, Psalm 91 serves as an anchor, a reminder of the enduring truth that we are not alone. It invites us into a deeper spiritual journey, where we learn to trust, lean in, and ultimately find peace and safety under the shadows of the Almighty. Practical applications. 1. Faith amidst fear. Psalm 91 invites believers to confront their fears with faith. In practical terms, this means recognizing anxieties for what they are while choosing to bring them to God in prayer. It serves as a guide for believers to practice surrender, fostering trust in God as a refuge. 2. Building intimacy with God. The notion of dwelling in the secret place beckons believers to cultivate an intimate relationship with God. Practicing mindfulness, meditation, or engaging in contemplative prayer can help nurture this relationship. 3. Divine protection in action. Engaging with the imagery of angels and divine protection can encourage believers to acknowledge the unseen battles being fought on their behalf. It reminds them to express gratitude for the safeguards and interventions they may experience unknowingly. 4. Encouraging others. Psalm 91's powerful declarations of assurance can be shared as encouragement to others facing difficulties. Whether in person or through written communication, the psalm can be a source of comfort to those in need. 5. Reflective worship. Finally, reciting or reflecting on Psalm 91 in worship settings can foster a sense of communal hope. It provides both a personal and collective affirmation of reliance on God and the understanding of his protective nature. Conclusion. Psalm 91 serves timelessly as a sanctuary of hope, comfort, and profound assurance. It encapsulates the essence of faith as a refuge, offering a wealth of emotional support to those navigating life's challenges. By reflecting upon its verses, one can draw from the well of divine truth, empowering both personal growth and communal faith journeys. In a world often marred by uncertainty, chaos, and fear, the lessons of Psalm 91 stand eternal. They beckon us towards a safe place, a refuge where we can find our true identity as beloved children of the Most High. Embracing this psalm is not merely about acknowledging divine protection. It is an invitation to live boldly, trusting in the unwavering presence of God who walks with us through every storm of life.